Hey guys, I am here with my new best friend, Scott Aucoin and Scott Aucoin's beard. How are you doing, sir?
I am well. My beard is well too.
It does. It looks fantastic. It looks absolutely fantastic. I wish I could grow a beard.
You want to know the secret?
What's the secret?
Olive oil.
Oh, really?
I'm not even kidding.
Well, then I better start because I have what is well known on the internet as more or less a neck beard. If I let this go, I just look like I'm Amish. Except Amish only from like here down. It doesn't actually all
Doesn't work
come
without
in.
the hat.
It's a depressing thing. Yeah, no, it's not really flattering, that hat. Nothing about that hat works. I'm sorry for all of you Amish people watching this at home. Obviously, there's lots of you with the lack of technology. All right, so first question / just comment here. You are a relatively recognizable, despite wearing this helmet.
That's what they.
We're going to assume that you're recognizable, even though you wear this helmet. Cosplayer / costumer, as we discussed earlier, is perhaps a more favorable term.
I prefer it, but the connotations between the two words,
Give or take.
pretty much,
It's-
they're the same thing.
It's give or take. You're relatively recognizable. You know, you hit up a lot of the major events.
I try to.
You know, and you're part of what is called Maritime Heavy Armour, right?
What
MHA.
even is that?
What even is that? Well, we're not going to get there yet. We're not there yet. First, I need to ask you a very important question. At what point in your life did you find out that you wanted to make this stuff?
2010, summer of 2010.
Is there anything in particular that like sparked that interest? Were you just looking was this like you're online and you saw somebody like really rocking a Lando Calrissian costume and you're like, man, I could do that, but I don't have the hair, so let's wear this. Like, how did that manage to come about?
I learned that there's a Comic-Con coming to Halifax, and I'm like, I want a costume. And I've always been a Star Wars fan since my grandmother bought me the VHS box set in the 90s.
Oh man, I've got that too. That weighs several pounds.
Greedo did not shoot at all. It's not
No,
the Hound
no.
shot first.
No, but don't start that war.
No, I don't want to get
Don't
into it with
start
the internet
that
right
war.
now.
No, it's a bad idea.
Yeah. But I always liked Star Wars, and when I found out that there was an entire Star Wars costuming group and that I could get myself a Stormtrooper costume, I decided to go for it, and I just went all in.
just went the whole way with it. You did, obviously. You can't get any further along than formed ABS plastic. That's about as deep as you can get.
Yeah.
So we just talked about specifically at least the two different names that you could use to describe this, but what genres of cosplay, again, just to use that term, what genres exist in that? And it's gotten more elaborate as time has gone on, obviously. So what do you say? What would you say are the genres?
There's a lot of different categories you could break it up into. Like you could break it up into the anime category or sci-fi categories. There's video games you can cosplay after, and then there's all the different subcategories, like, well, what kind of video games? And some video games can also be anime. So I could spend all day going over the dynamics and interesting different words that people have come up for things.
Right.
But there's just everybody dresses up, and we just take it at face value. You're in a costume, you go for it.
You just give her.
Yeah.
You specifically, this is more or less called, well, as the name of your group is called, it's like a heavy armor thing, right? We're talking about like Warhammer and obviously some Star Wars stuff. Anything that really involves some pretty heavy armor.
Yeah, an all-encompassing armor suit is generally what we go for. Preferably sci-fi, but we don't disclude fantasy.
And what do you have a favorite? Is this your favorite heavy armor that you use, or do you have something that tops your Stormtrooper?
This is my only costume, the Stormtrooper. But as far as my favorite costume out of the group goes, I don't know if I could pick because they might be a little upset that I'm choosing favorites, but I've always been a fan of the Master Chief costume worn by Art Forward.
Yes, of course. Well, there's a lot of detail to be done for a Master Chief costume.
And for a geriatric senior, he does a pretty good job.
I'm just envisioning now. Well, I mean, the actual Master Chief. Who is to say that he's not a geriatric senior?
This is true.
Who is to really say? We've never found out. We came so close in the first Halo, and then it all was just fleeting from there. And now he's floating in space. So he could have diabetes.
Spoilers, I haven't played the 4th game yet.
I know. Well, here's a hint. Don't.
Oh, okay.
So Maritime Heavy Armour, as we discussed, is a group that you're a part of. Here in the Maritimes, it is quite a large group. Tell us how that managed to become a thing. Like, how does one suddenly, other than maybe going to an event, How does this, Avengers Assemble thing, like how did it all come to
How did
pass?
it all start? It all started in 2010 at Aucoin, really. That's where a few of the core members met, myself, Joseph Crosby, Art Forward, Space Marine, and Master Chief, respectively. And we happened to all just be in the same room, and somebody wanted a photo of us, and Art yelled out, Maritime Heavy Armour, assemble, because he's in the Navy, so he just says things.
So I unintentionally actually just called that like 5 seconds ago. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
okay,
we were just literally in the same place at the same time. So we got a few photos together, and then we just kind of went around the con. And then it was Spryfield Christmas Parade shortly thereafter.
Okay.
That Halcon said, we need some costumers for this parade. So we showed up, and we started talking. It's like, we should like start a group or something. Okay. So then Art and I met at a Tim Hortons to kind of talk about
As
some
all
stuff.
good Canadian business starts at a Tim Hortons.
The
If it
show is
started
not-
at Starbucks, I would have had to question how this whole thing came to pass, but
This show is neither sponsored by nor endorses Tim
no,
Hortons.
exactly, neither. But if you want to, let me know. I mean, I'm always down for Timmy's. Sorry, continue.
But we didn't know what each other looked like because we have these all-encompassing costumes. So
Yeah, of course.
we're thinking, well, how are we going to know who each other is? Like, bring your helmet. So I'm just meeting at this Tim Hortons with this guy old enough to be my dad, and he's holding a Master Chief helmet, and I'm holding my Stormtrooper helmet. It's like,
That's really funny.
hi. And then the rest is just history, man.
That's really, really funny. I can't, I'm trying to envision this older gentleman deciding that he wants to dress up.
I'm going to get
as
hell for
Master
calling
Chief.
him an old man.
Well, he's probably not that old, to be honest, but yet anybody over the age of like 35, I would suddenly start to go, really, you're dressing up? Okay, well, I'm proud of you, because I wouldn't do it. I think it's fantastic. I think
That's
it's
like half
absolutely,
my team.
Amazing. So you went over the team there. What events, since you said you met at Halcon and it was your first, so that just started right out of the gate pretty much.
Yep.
What other events have you guys done, and what are the ones that you tend to like to frequent?
We generally go to every parade that Halcon does.
Mm-hmm.
We like to be, we are some of their best costumers,
Mm-hmm.
most consistent at least. I won't say best because that's tooting my own horn. I don't like doing that in
It's
public.
acceptable. I do it all the time here on the show, so any time you can get that in there.
Didn't
just-
realize it was that kind of show.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's only really me sitting here, right? Our producer Yazid, he'll laugh at anything I say, so it doesn't matter. My ego just keeps going through the roof.
Good. We like doing all the parades. In 2011, we started doing charity fundraisers.
Okay,
So
great.
we fundraise a lot of money for Prostate Cancer Canada. We'll hit up the boardwalk. Pictures are free. Donations are welcome. Usually in the summer, people give us money. It's a great fun. And during on Father's Day, they do the Father's Day run walk for prostate cancer. So we show up in costume, and then we do the 5 or 10K walk in full gear on the hottest day of summer, and people go nuts for it.
That was
awesome.
well, exactly. We were discussing how in this helmet there's some fans in here for
Yep.
obvious reasons. I'm going to assume that even with some fans, that was probably not a very cool walk for you.
No, we got about 10 minutes in. It's like, yeah, helmets off, boys. We're gonna die.
Nobody needs a stormtrooper with heat stroke.
No, more dead stormtroopers. That's just what we need.
Well, exactly. I mean, they can't hit anything to begin with. You start making
Don't
them
start with
dizzy
me.
and falling over, just shooting all over the place. The A team, everybody's shooting and nobody's getting hit. It's generally
We're the MHA team.
Yes, exactly.
It's our
See, there you
running
go. Hey, new tagline, the MHA team, where everybody shoots and nobody gets hit because we're Canadian and we'd apologize anyway. So, are there any events that are coming up that you guys are planning that the viewers in the next, few weeks might be able to check you guys out?
We've got the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Okay.
So we will.
You'll be showing up in that?
sober.
Oh, I was going to say.
Probably not.
Non-alcoholic beverages is the key to any good St. Patrick's Day. Available at your local Sobeys and or, go to Joseph Howe or something.
Please drink responsibly.
Absolutely. Or not at all. Even better.
After that, I think the next one is May 4th. May the 4th be with you, International Star Wars Day.
Mm-hmm.
We will be teaming up with Halifax Regional Libraries, and we will be at Alderney Landing for, they're doing a family reading sort of thing
fantastic.
for some of the younger kids, I believe. So we'll be down there hanging out, entertaining some folks.
Awesome.
So that'll be good.
Excellent. Well, now you know where you can go and spend some quality time with the Master Chief and friends and stormtroopers and everybody else. Now, HalCon, as we've already mentioned, is where this all started. It's also pretty much the show for here in Halifax at the very least.
Yep.
And perhaps even in the Maritimes at this point, as it's only gotten bigger and bigger. What do you guys tend to try to accomplish at these HalCons, and are you trying to further yourselves anymore? Are you trying to one-up yourselves now in the future? Like next HalCon comes around, are you guys going to like take it to the next level and find some more people and really up your game?
Well, we HalCon is our main event of the year, and we all lead towards it. So we'll always have we'll always want to do upgrades or improvements on our suits. Like I did a two-way radio system that's activated by a magnetic switch.
Right.
For this HalCon. But we know a lot of the organizers and a lot of the volunteers, so we're really close with that crowd. One of my guys is actually the vice chair of Con. But that's beside the point.
Insider trading happening, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
But this year at HalCon, we really tried something new. We tried to give a little back to the community. So what we did was we had a repair table. And
I saw that, yeah.
I've never seen another convention that had that.
No.
And we had about $80, $90 worth of repair stuff, and that's money from our own pocket.
Right.
We had glue and duct tape and scissors, knives, anything. Like, you need your costume repaired, come to us.
And I saw there was quite a few people that showed up because HalCon had a substantial amount of some pretty intricate, you could say heavy armor costume work, especially like the Mass Effect crew, which was amazing, really. That was a really well done group.
Yep.
There was a lot of work that was there, so that was a great idea for you guys to do that.
And everybody loved it.
I can't imagine why.
Yep.
I can't imagine why. So where can people reach you guys and Maritime Heavy Armour? We were just talking before this interview about how you got this website up and going now. So where can people find you and keep in contact? And
you can go to maritimeheavyarmour.ca.
I like that. The lower third will show up, hopefully, right where the fingers were to make the magic happen. Well, thank you very much, Scott. That was absolutely fantastic. I love the costume work. Costumer. I will call you guys costumers from now on. Just for you. Just for you. Well, thank you very much again, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All the best. Can't wait to see you guys again at the next HalCon, and you guys know where you can find them, so go and check them out. And until then, we'll see you guys soon. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this episode of The Game Code. Big thanks to Scott for showing up here in the studio and putting up with me for 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, we want to hear what you guys have to say about the show, so let us know on our Facebook and Twitter pages. And until next time, have a good one. Unless I'm fucking up here like this. All right. Stay tuned for Gaming Here with